Hello and welcome to Saranya's Travel Vlogs. If you like my videos, please like, share and subscribe. So this is our last part of the Colorado trip that we took a little while ago. Hope you like it. So the day started with us rising early up in Aspen. The night before it had snowed quite a lot. I would go on to say that we received a snow of no less than 10 to 12 inches that night. So in the morning it was quite a hassle getting up and clearing the snow out of the car, but it was a lovely morning whatsoever. As you can see, the trees are basically kind of like surviving from the weight of the snow on the top of the leaves, but it was wonderful. It looked like a little Narnia in the morning, and we basically cleaned the car, got it into shape to be able to ride out of town, because as you must have seen in the earlier videos, we kind of like traveled to Aspen and saw a little bit of Aspen the last time you probably saw the video, which is last day. And then this day morning we basically started driving out of Aspen. So here basically you can see the beautiful scenery, everything really sprinkled in white, the powdery snow. And the other part of the story is obviously the difficulty in driving, the difficulty in shoveling the snow, but of course it is totally worth it. So at this point we are basically driving out of Aspen. So the initial plan for us was to be able to go skiing to Vail or to some other place. So there are a couple of ski resorts around Aspen. You can of course ski in Aspen, but it's kind of little difficult for first timers. So we wanted to take our try at some of the other resorts. The interesting part is that you're gonna see, as we started heading out of town, we realized that today is also going to be a day which is kind of like filled with snowfall and snowstorm. So it might be difficult to navigate and reach the place where we were first aiming to be able to go and ski. So skiing, for people who do not know, is a winter sport which is extremely popular in the United States. So people take winter in a with a very sportive attitude, especially people who are born and raised in snow. So they love skiing. There are also other sports and activities like snowboarding. So we basically decided to do skiing, and as I told you, we realized that it would be difficult for us to basically go to the place to where we wanted to ski. But we basically started traveling nonetheless to a place called Glenwood Springs, which is on the way to be able to go to any of the places where we wanted to basically go. So as you can see, I think, a very important part of traveling anywhere is really the drives. As you can see, it's just beautiful. The drive to Glenwood Springs. And mind you, we had also done this the last day when we were going to the hot spring, but it was a very different scenario because today is so full of snow. It's just beautiful. So we took that drive and we started feeling a little hungry as we were heading into Glenwood Springs. And it's kind of difficult to get Indian food around in the area. And as a lot of you might know, Nepali food or Himalayan food is very close to Indian food. So as soon as we basically we saw a Nepali restaurant across the street, we decided to go and have lunch and then proceed. Now here I want to say that this was a lovely restaurant with extremely good food. The hostess, who also happens to be the owner of the restaurant, was over there, and just treated us to an excellent Himalayan thali. We also happened to have thukpa, which is basically a soupy Nepali noodle, but at the end of the food we were like really full, and we were completely satisfied with our experience at the restaurant. And I tell this only after being a person who has actually traveled to Nepal as a kid, so the food was really, really good. The next thing that happened was that once we reached Glenwood Springs, we realized that we couldn't go any further in the direction that we wanted to go because the road was closed because of an accident that had happened earlier in the day. So we decided to give Glenwood Springs a try and just spend the rest of the day in Glenwood Springs. As you can see, Glenwood Springs is a little town which is about 1 hour away from Aspen, and is slightly cheaper compared to Aspen. Now remind you, Aspen is extremely expensive during this part of the year. So you can obviously stay in Glenwood Springs and enjoy Aspen. A lot of people do that. Now here is a cutie I wanted to mention. So we basically went to an ice cream place called Kaleido Scoops, which is in downtown Glenwood Springs. And while we were having ice cream, we chatted a lot with the owners and we played around with their dog, who was really cute. And then next we went to this really cool book place, which is quite a famous spot in downtown Glenwood Springs for the kind of books that they keep. They have really old books, they have really antique posters, they have vintage old collection kind of books, so it's a great place to go and look around. The next place we went was Two Rivers State Park, which is also a little bit, it's kind of in Glenwood Springs downtown itself, and here we met another cutie who was so keen to play with us. So the area of this Two River Park in Glenwood Springs is really pretty. So the only problem was that it was snowing, so we did not get a chance to really explore it, but it was wonderful. Later in the evening, we basically checked in to Hampton Inn, which is a hotel that's easily, it's located in a very convenient spot in Glenwood Springs. So we basically checked in, took a change, got ourselves a little warm, and then kind of ventured into downtown, which was, considering that this was early December, of course everything was lit up and decorated for the holiday season. So there were beautiful lights all around. It was slightly silent and less people, given the fact that this was a snowy day and night, but nonetheless it was wonderful. The next day morning, we basically checked out of Glenwood Springs. As you can see, it's just beautiful to be able to see the hills in the morning. And because there was a snowstorm last night, again it's full of snow, the roads are full of snow, but the landscape, the breathtaking views, nothing comparable to that. So we started basically traveling to Beaver Ski Resort, Beaver Hill Ski Resort. Beaver it's named of course after the beaver, which is basically an animal that is found in the snowy places and is famous to Colorado. But again, I want to emphasize, I cannot emphasize enough on how beautiful this drive to Beaver Ski Resort was. Beaver Hill Ski Resort is basically, I would say, about 10-15 minutes from Vail, which is in Colorado. Again, a very famous spot for skiing. So as we started, but I just wanted to again and again emphasize on the beauty of the road. There's a stream that's half frozen, half water at this point of the year. It's just beautiful. I would love for you guys to not hear my voice and just take in the beauty of this road for a little while. But yeah, I was amazed, and I thought some of the road trips were the best part of this entire trip. Road drives basically was one of the best part of this trip for me. So look around and hope you guys enjoy the rest of this road drive. Another thing that just came to my mind was, as you travel from Denver to Aspen or even to Vail, there are lots of tunnels that are on the way, and they're just simply gorgeous tunnels. They are beautiful, and it amazes me to think that as humans, we've achieved so much in spite of the fact that we say say that we are wasting natural resources and whatsoever, but we've also created these beautiful spots as human beings to be able to go and look at these spots with our naked eyes. So yeah, I don't know if I'm being too philosophical, but it's just wonderful. So we are almost pretty close to Weaver Ski Resort. Before I actually take you inside, you should know that ski resorts are almost like normal resorts, except for the fact that they've got skiing places where you can ski. So a lot of families turn out at this time of year and stay at these resorts for extended times. It could be a week, it could be 2 weeks, or even more, to be able to ski as an entire family. They offer ski lessons to first timers and also to advanced people. So even if you did not have any experience in skiing, or if you had a lot of experience in skiing, you could go here, take classes according to your level of expertise, and basically enjoy your time skiing here. And the resorts, the resort also has all kinds of sport shops. So from Nike to North Face, Columbia, all those kind of shops. So we are really entering Weaver Ski at this point, and of course it has got stay places where you can stay, so lodging, all kinds of fooding, so a lot of restaurants, a lot of shops where you could shop for your skiing essentials or anything in general, really. So it's a very, very beautiful place to even come and stay in. The first thing we did was really take 2 passes, a day pass, so you can get a day pass or a week pass depending on the amount of money that you pay and the time period that you're staying there for. So basically the first thing that we did was go inside and take 2 tickets for ourselves or 2 passes for ourselves to be able to ski for that for 1 day, because we were going to be here for just 1 day. And we also basically signed up for a starter class wherein you get an expert or a tutor for about 6 hours of time who will teach you the basics of skiing, or depending on your level, will basically teach you some of the skills that you require, and then you can go ahead and start skiing. So unfortunately we could not get a ton of videos of ourselves skiing, but I will try and show you the inside of the resort. So this is the inside of the resort. They've got trucks that were selling cookies, warm cider, all kinds of drinks, and this is the skiing area. So you basically have a ropeway that takes you up the mountain and you start skiing, and then afterwards you come down. Now this was a huge learning because this was the first time for us that we were skiing. So skiing basically requires a lot of accessories or skiing essentials, as they might be called. So the first thing that we had to do was, as soon as we got our day passes, we were basically taken to the place where we get our ski essentials, and we had to go through a shoe fitting, which is basically the place where your foot size is taken and you are given appropriate ski shoes, and you're also given, depending on your height, you are given the skis, not the skis, like the boards basically, and then the skis as well. So we did all that from the shop, and once we had everything ready, we went and had a little breakfast and spent some time just looking at the gorgeous views inside the resort. We also had to shop for snow pants because they do not give any of the wearables for rent. So basically, outside of the essentials that they give you, we had to buy goggles, which are important to basically not be blinded by the sun as you start skiing. And then we also had to get our helmets, we had to buy snow pants, and some masks, basically masks in the sense of face masks that will prevent you from the wind that is so cold high up in the mountain. So before we went skiing, we basically like took in the gorgeous views inside the resort. As you can see, I mean, I can completely imagine myself not skiing and just staying here and enjoying the rest of the things. So I got a few videos of my husband basically taking the skiing lesson and starting to ski. Unfortunately, because we were not prepared, we did not get a lot of videos of ourselves skiing, and frankly speaking, we just covered the basics. It will obviously, like, it takes time to be able to like start skiing like the rest of the people here are, but at the end of this thing, we were extremely tired. So we basically went to this restaurant inside the resort for some food, and here is where we saw this cute dog. But the next thing we did was basically start driving to Vail, out of the resort. So Vail, Colorado, what can I say about this place? This is beautiful. Again, another ski station, another mountain area, but very different from Aspen, because Vail has a very I would say like a Bavarian village, which is the heart of Vail. It's again like a German, small German town kind of feel. So as you can see, there are stores, there are shops, there are hotels. Just taking a walk in the Bavarian village in Vail is completely worth your time. So as we headed into Vail, it was starting to get a little, it was dusk almost, so the mountains were like a beautiful crimson golden, and we basically were dog tired, so we couldn't do a lot of activities, but we just walked around the downtown. I do not have videos of a necklace, but basically we stopped at a necklace place, and my husband kind of like gifted me a necklace, which was nice of him. But one of the best highlights of the Vail walk tour was basically an ice skating dance that was happening at the center, and it was my first time seeing people dance. So there was really a competition of dancers who dance with skates on ice skating rings. So we got to see that, which was wonderful, and in a minute you'll be able to see some of those performances. I thought it was just an amazingly magical evening to be able to walk around this place and catch a glimpse of these just, unbelievable dancers. So those are some of the, kind of performances. So mind you, these people are basically dancing on snow. So it's just breathtaking. So I let you basically like take a look at this. These are some of the dance performances. Unfortunately, I did not have them in the landscape mode because I was so excited. But hopefully you are still able to like see some of it and enjoy it. So yeah. Isn't she amazing? It was just sheer magic and amazement that kind of like had me when I saw these people dance to their tunes. So one thing that I also just, while you guys enjoy this performance, I wanted to mention that there are also lots of performances that keep happening from time to time. We just happened to be there at the time when this was going on. Outside of that, there are also like major events that happen on an everyday basis that you can come and basically plan to see or just spend a day at. So yeah, that's basically those dance performances. They just left me amazing. Left me like speechless. It's just wonderful to see them performing with this kind of confidence and grace on ice. Yeah. I think the last part of the trip was basically, or the biggest highlight was really meeting. One of the biggest highlights was meeting the Kiri that you're gonna see next. So this was at the store where we got my necklace, and he was sitting right outside the store, just performing unbelievable tricks. You're gonna meet him in a minute. So this is the guy I'm talking about, you guys. He was so cute. He was waving his hands at the customers. He was shaking hands and was a completely distinguished gentleman. I fell in love with him right before coming home. So the last part was, of course, having breakfast at the airport and heading down back home. So hope you guys liked it, and leave a review. Thanks so much for watching.